Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible and visible? Can give some response. Hello. I said good afternoon. You are there? Okay, if you are there, well and good. If not, it's okay, not an issue. But today we're going to talk about, rather, I'm going to talk about what do you call the subject name or course title called Applications of AI in Business. Within this, we're going to discuss about these particular entities. So with respect to AI on digital marketing, we're going to have some discussion or clarification in a better understanding point of view. Am I visible and audible? Yes, Raj Raut. Give me some response. Okay, you attended the previous session by any chance? What you discussed in the last session like? Before actually getting into the discussion about what? Impact of AI on digital marketing, which is the unit number 2 here. I would like to know what is your clarification or the introduction about AI framework as per the previous session concern. If you have any questions from your side, I'll be happy to attend them. If not an issue. Before that, we need to, rather, I need to share with you about your link related to review. Now, anytime you visited your ERP login, I hope already video is uploaded. You visited your ERP login. You can, if you visited, it's available what we discussed in, rather I discussed in previous session. Otherwise, I'll try to take the help of the previous what you call content here. Wait for a while.
I'll just drop a message to him. If he's okay, I will share his contact number.
You visited, anytime you visited the recorded session, same applicable to Balaji Dhanpal. You visited your previous session, Balaji, related to ERP reference I'm talking. Wait, my system is getting a little bit delayed, so I'll be taking help of some images to make the clarification about today's discussion. Be sharing the screen, of course. Wait for some time. Okay, is my screen visible? I have to disable my video because it occupies part of screen. So otherwise, is my screen visible? Okay. So in the previous session, I tried to cover, according to the course title, what are the supportive AI framework can be understood from your course title point of view. Now, if I observe here, like I have 4 learners now, I would like to know, out of you 4 people, how many of you attended the previous session? Can I have some response in the chat option, please? It's nothing compulsion, but otherwise, I think I already made clear in the previous session, saying that your analytics or your way of approach related to your ERP login for a specific course will be verified later, like how many hours of accessing your actual assigned ERP with respect to specialization of the here MBA, especially AI/ML. Otherwise, whatever the supportive specializations you are doing, that need to be verified with respect to analytics in the name of accessing. So in that context, if you are visiting every now and then, checking your ERP login, that will be considered as a type of analytics. Means, as per authorized body, you have to cover, or you have to be in a position to get the coverage of at least 1200 hours for whole year. Means both the semester combined together. Okay, that is what had been assigned. However, as people are working in that context, you have to fulfill minimum requirement. If I'm not mistaken, at least 75% of 1200 hours, approximately 900 hours for whole semester, rather whole year. So if you divide that 450 hours, you have to at least fulfill with respect to your accessibility of ERP login, which includes all the specialization and even your project work as well, if I'm not mistaken. However, I have discussed this, and even I try to consider one of the entity related to AI framework in the previous session. I'd like to first share my screen, but before that, I would like to know from your side, what is your response for previous session? Yeah. Any clarification response you would like to add? If yes, please let me know. I think the screen is visible to you simultaneously. Can I have some response on that? Is my screen visible to you? Give me some response. We'll get back to that screen again. So if you observe here screen, what actually it says about artificial intelligence and agents. And these combined together said to be what? As you people are saying, can you briefly give the introduction on that? So this is clarification about framework. Okay. In that context, to consider this image for your understanding. Starting with computational mimicry, human intelligence, and computer systems, agents which are supportive for mimicry, like it may be autonomy or environmental interaction or sometime objective driven. So what do you mean by that? Anybody knows? What do you mean by computational mimicry? What do you mean by mimicry from your understanding level? Can I have some response, please? You feel like systems used to copy us or used to behave like our thought process sometime? And of course, this particular discussion is part of your project exploration as well. I hope all learners belonging to me as a project enrolled learners. Am I right? If you say yes, please give me some response. So all will be connected, no need to worry. Yeah. So according to your course title point of view, if you consider the meaning of what AI framework, nothing but what you mean by AI need to be known to you, how it emerges or what was the reason, how it came into existence must be known to you. Next, the general term like what may be the impact of AI on jobs and the supported technology. After that, the role of big data, cloud AI, fourth industrial revolutions, which is not actually part of here AI for the time being discussion, because that particular time is getting diverted. Otherwise, it's okay. Then what is machine learning? How machine learning barriers to the AI? Along with that, what are the supported advantages and disadvantages? And they mentioned AI case studies. Now, from your understanding level, is it possible to cover all these topics in 1 hour? Let me know. Let me have your input for this. Please give me some response. You want, I'll post those material or the entities in the chat option. Even in the session, the previous session, I had given my actual introduction and I'm expecting my learners to give some introduction. So continuing in that way, I would like to know like which particular job you are performing now as a job holder. What is the company name? how many years of experience you have into that particular job, plus your basic education, like what is your basic education, engineering, management, or some alternative other bachelor degree. Please provide those details in the chat option so that I feel comfortable to discuss up to best possible way at your level. Can I have some response, please? If you want, I can even what you call enable which option here to talk. To talk, I can say unmute themselves, right? Yeah. If you want to say something, you can use your mic. Please go ahead. And this is your two-way interaction, not one-way interaction. Yeah. Any response?
Hi, sir. This is Balaji.
Mhm.
So I was working as a software developer for the past 5 years. I was working as an automation developer. And recently I switched to AI and ML. So I was moved into the AI and ML team. And I just started the career in AI and ML. Right now I was working in Wipro.
And how many years of experience you said?
In total, I'm having 5 years of experience. So
Okay, very good. I'll come to your the clarification. Now, okay. Moving on to the next one. May I have any alternative input from other learners, please? Yeah.
Hi, Aishwarya here. I have been working in IT for the past 3 years. Initially, I worked as a web developer, and now I'm into cybersecurity. And I have worked on AI/ML as my graduation project, and I have been interested in it ever since. And right now, I'm learning to indulge AI with cybersecurity. I feel that as a very interesting field for myself.
Okay, very good.
Thank
May I have
you.
next learner input, please?
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. This is Jatasankar Jha.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. So I am working as a senior cloud architect. Earlier, my skill was on Unix architect. Now I am working from last 7 years as a senior cloud architect on AWS and Amazon Cloud, AWS and Microsoft Cloud, right? So I'm working around 23 years of experience. So I have done BSc and BTech, BSc in computer science and BTech in electronics telecommunication.
Okay, nice to hear, sir. Moving on to the next learner input, please. If anybody wants to give their input.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Dr. Rajesh Verma, working as professor in neurology in King George's Medical University, UP. Basically, I am involved in medical sciences for the last 30 years.
Okay, quite a good experience, sir. Even you are very much elder to me. I'm really thankful for that. Yes, sir.
Because I feel and I presume that AI has a very specific role to play in medical sciences, new algorithms and models. That's why I take up this challenge. Although this subject is very new for me, a lot of things have never gone through like R programming. But in spite of that, I take it as a challenge and I opt for this artificial intelligence and machine learning.
Nice to hear, Rajesh, sir. Thank you. May I know who is the next learner who wants to provide his or her input? Otherwise, I would like to give my introduction. I think you people were not there in the previous session. Anybody were present in the previous session? Hopefully, no.
Yes, I was.
You were there.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Now, moving back, again, I need to give my introduction you can say next 2-3 minutes. I would like to wrap up my introduction in 2 to 3 minutes, not more than that. I'm Dr. Professor Mahantesh Kodbagi and having 20 plus years of experience in academics, especially in computer science and engineering, along with that allied branches, as we are saying now as a specialization like you consider with the first artificial intelligence or machine learning. I'll try to explain these terms later, no need to worry. Then you can say information technology or sometime software engineering or sometime programming or sometime business analytics or sometime data science or sometime analytics. Okay, so overall, I have 20 plus years of teaching experience and 1.5 years of experience in marketing. With reference to my qualification, I did my doctorate, which is a high right now the highest qualification. Otherwise, I did my 3 post graduations, starting with MSc Computer Science, MTech, and even MBA in marketing. Along with that, I completed my basic education degree called B.Ed long back, almost like 10 years earlier time. And I worked at various locations of my country, starting with Karnataka 3 to 4 years, then 3 to 4 years with Lovely Professional University. And I used to be the visiting professor for one of the college in Delhi. Then last, you can say 10 to 15 years approximately, I'm working here in Maharashtra with Diva Patil Group, with the different 3 Diva Patil groups, as well as I worked with Sandip University, Nashik. Now, I went through different, you can say, physical approach of students related to their way of understanding or their way of handling the career or their way of expecting what actually they are deserving with respect to understanding of the education. If not, what is the purpose of joining these particular, you can say, the degrees or professional courses with respect to their job? Okay, so I'd like to clear, when you are joining any of the courses or degrees, there is a wrong perception saying that after completion of this particular degree, I am supposed to get a job. No, from my approach, I would say, whatever the education you want to pursue, those will be adding your betterment in the existing knowledge rather than the job oriented. We do implement in the name of what you call placement, that you may get a good jobs, nothing wrong in that. But talking from clarification or knowledge point of view, whatever education you are pursuing, that must flourish or that must explore micro layer of understanding rather than expecting to be a job oriented one. In that context, I try to give my introduction previous as well as today's session. And some of my learners are elder to me. Probably they know even better than me what is the purpose of, you can say, exploring more knowledge, especially with respect to the career where you have more than, say, 25, 30 years of experience. There you require just, you can say, guidance rather than deeper side of the understanding of any components. Now, talking about individual clarification, learners who are not having much experience, of course, you need to understand the things or understanding the knowledge in such a way that how best you can apply for your either you can say job role or your understanding level in real time situation, so that the things will be much more clear to you rather than going through course title here what you are hearing as an alternative entity for syllabus or sometime different units in the name of different chapters. Much more importance of knowledge is required. Then I would say the real education is you inculcated. Reverse is also true, as we are having such an approach of education system in the name of what? The learner or a student or a kids who are able to score more marks will be considered as the intellectual or more understanding. No, the things are not really goes in that direction. The more you have the knowledge, more you can score marks, no doubt in that, but more you will be knowing how to apply into real time. Talking with respect to, I hope, Dr. Rajesh Sharma, sir, who is elder to me. Otherwise, sir is basically from medical field, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, sir? Rajesh Sharma, sir, you are there?
I'm basically a neurologist.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
did MBBS, then MD medicine, then DM neurology, then DNB neurology. So and I got a fellowship from London. So basically,
Basically, you are from medical field, right?
yes, of course, I'm working in an academic institution. This is
Yes.
King George's Medical University, Lucknow.
Right. Simultaneously, with reference to your experience and the field what you selected, and being a professor of AI/ML, I can maximum make the clarification how the AI/ML can be tackled. But how to apply these particular strategy along with your existing the medical field experience, you knowing better way of approach than me, sir. Here, correct?
I think in medical sciences, there
Mhm.
should be continuation of learning throughout your life. I feel, and because with the advent of this new technology, mainly starting from 2012, and then I found lot of papers where this radiology, artificial intelligence in radiology, in Parkinsonism, in stroke imaging, in degenerative disorders, dementia, so like that. So I think because I'm also a PhD mentor and as well as thesis guide. So in my remaining 5.5 years,
I think you are audible, sir. Rajesh, sir.
yes.
Yeah, I hope I am also audible.
Yes. Well audible.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you are very much elder to us in this particular session here, even though I may be the present, you can say, professor for handling the session. Otherwise, we were what actually I want to say here, even though you have very enormous experience in your the specific field, I agree that AIML is taking place or will be going to occupy almost all part of our day-to-day routine, including all the different specializations. Mean to say, if I talk about, say, marketing, we are expecting to apply the machines there. If we are expecting, say, transport, we are applying the machine learning or the machine's approach, how best that things can be automated or can be handled. If you consider, say, banking operations, there also we're having some of the alternative platform. And if you consider, say, any of the in detail experience related to, for example, dentistry or sometime, as you said, you are what do you call neurologist. So you will be knowing how to manage the neurons from brain or from human physiology point of view. I beg your pardon if I use any of the wrong statement. You please have the, I mean, please correct me, sir. Nothing wrong in that because it's a two-way communication. Nothing like what I'm saying is supposed to be the panel. No, because somewhere I am also a learner and somewhere I am representing as a professor. So as a professor, I can explore the things up to best possible way. And as a learner, I will be, of course, a student. There is nothing like, even though I did a doctorate, I have this much experience means, no, I learned everything, nothing wrong like that. Life itself is a learning stage. The more we are flexible to understand, the things will be better for us to manage. Reverse is also true. The more we are having attitudes with respect to saying that this is my the maximum experience, so I don't want to go and the people must follow me. I would say that's not really good approach. Anyways, with respect to your assigned course title, is my screen visible to everyone? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, talking about your specialization field with respect to, say, medical or neurology, or sometime software engineering, or sometime Unix operating system, how best you are in a position to take care about implementation of artificial intelligence with your specific field, maybe the supporting entity, what you're going to learn under AI framework on a broader level. If you recall, I tried to use this particular screen for your consideration. Is my screen visible again?
Yes.
With respect to the website, I hope. This particular image I was referring, is it visible, sir?
Yes.
So here, irrelevant of which specialization, these are the, you can say, type of the structure or type of implementation what can be considered as a part of AI framework, not actually the final framework, or you can say AI reference as a framework here. Because talking about AI framework, it actually started with a very much minute way, where people never thought that we can use in a such a way that the things can be just by just uttering a word, we can get the response from the machine. It means when you go back, say 100 years earlier time, there was no communication. And with respect to communication means if somebody is talking and somebody is able to listen through, you can say wire, was the best implementation of telephone conversation for making the sound to travel. Now, by using the same infrastructure, we developed so many entities saying that just by uttering a single word, probably machines are able to understand our pronunciation and maybe in a position to give some response. A day or 2 days earlier, I was just going through my smartphone device and it was saying, you can say, ask me anything, I can give a response. So I was asking, what is my name? Based on the stored data set on my smartphone, I got the response saying that you are Dr. Professor Mahantesh Kodbagi. Means, if I talk about this response by my smartphone, how the data is really getting processed and getting, you can say, giving response rather on very instantaneous part of a time. Means, I'm able to utter one statement. It can listen to my statement, talking about my smartphone here, and within just the next 2 or 3 seconds, I'm getting a response. So this particular conversation, starting with earlier 100-year technology called just a manual or traditional approach of telephone, now reduced to just around almost like nanoseconds here. Means whenever you are providing any information or any input to the available resources, those resources are in a position to understand our input and can be in a position to provide supportive remarks or supportive entities. In that context, this AI is really helpful. Excuse me for a moment. Meantime, if you have any questions, please raise the questions in your chat option. I'll try to attend them. So whatever the statement I passed so far, you have any questions on that? Hopefully, no. Now, I would like to consider one small, I can say, the clarification about one definition related to not actually AI. I would like to know from your understanding level, can you define operating system with respect to the computers here right now? Can you define the definition of operating system? You can use your supporting AI tools right now. There is no restriction. But otherwise, your intellectual way of clarification much required. Yeah. Can you define operating system? Anybody? Or else can you define software engineering?
Yes, certainly. Firstly, I would like to tell like operating system is the base of this computer on which you will be working. That is your operating system, and software engineering is basically learning to develop, create, and make sure the softwares are running. That is a part of software engineering.
Okay, very good. Do you have any
Thank-
alternative response from any other learners?
Sir, I think
If
operating
you-
system is just giving the input data and there is a process going on. and we get
Mhm.
some information in terms of output. This whole process or mechanism is known as basically operating system for me.
Correct. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'm typing some keywords in your chat option. Is those visible to you?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, the latest one, what I typed, instruction, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And before that, I mentioned CISC. Before that, I mentioned RISC. Before that, I mentioned system software. Before that, I mentioned, you can say, programming. I mentioned hardware. I mentioned firmware. I mentioned software engineering. And of course, Aishwarya Tavade, if I'm not mistaken, given the definition of operating system here, right? Now, out of these particular, say 3 plus 3, 6, 9 is keywords, how many keywords are really known to you from their working structure? I hope you are getting. Or if you heard these terms, please let me know what is the meaning you know. Talking about first instruction. According to you, what is the meaning of instruction?
Yeah, so, sir, instruction is a group of sequence of instruction to perform a particular task.
Very good.
And software engineering is a completely process for all instruction combined into a syllabus. You can say it's a software engineering. Firmware is BIOS level. So where the we have the motherboard. So those having the lot of components like the CPUs, memory, audio, video. So those things will get activated with the firmware level. And hardware, so the software which will run on the framework, so that will be the hardware for that one. So hardware having the CPU, memory, cabinet, all things are the hardware. So even hardware later on it will divided into multiple things like the software defined or hardware defined, those things. And programming similarly for the it's a part of operating system, what we can say, particular task. And RISC is a type of processor, and CISC is also a type of processor. Like you can say Unix based operating system, or we have like the IBM mainframe AIX, or either like the Windows or Linux. Those things are divided into the RISC and CISC. So generally these are the terms. Instruction, so it's like any particular task we want to execute. So those instruction in a sequential manner is instruction, and that combined into a software.
Okay, very good response from Shankar Jha. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, I would like to try to connect these terms with respect to human body. Hopefully, the things will be better clear. So, if you
Right.
talk about human body, which
So we can say like our brain is a software, and our structure, like the body parts, that is the hardware.
yeah, on broader level, you can say that.
Yes,
But
it's a broader level. Yeah.
on broader level, but from actual level, I would like to make the things clear in this way.
Yes.
Say, for example, everybody is right now, of course, human beings, including me, right? Now, what if there is no skeleton in the body? And please correct me, whatever the spelling, if I commit any error, please correct those. If there is no skeleton in the body, is it possible to manage your body? Or imagine for a time being, for the next 15, not 15 seconds, say 5 seconds, you are a body without skeleton. Can you able to imagine yourself?
No, that is hardware.
So when we talk about human body is able to make any type of movement if it really contains the basic structure called skeleton. And skeleton what you call, having the different layers on that, saying that probably flesh blood, not fresh blood, flesh and blood. And it also have different types of transmission of the blood. Probably the terms like, what are those? The transmission of blood from one location to other location. What we are considering those as?
Then.
Vein, na? Veins. Then we do
It's
have
veins
different
and
types of
arteries.
Yeah, artery
arteries.
convergence.
Yeah.
Then we have different subsystems like nervous system. Then we have visual system in the name of eyes. We have hearing system in the name of ears. We have touch system in the name of skin. We have taste system in the name of tongue. Correct, no? We have food system in the name of digestive system. What else? We have an application system called reproduction system. And all these systems are interconnected. Is this is correct? So if you observe this, likewise, when we actually considered the first generation system, I don't know how many of you really went through those. During those, the first generation system, probably almost like 80 or 90 years earlier time, the systems need to be rather were in a position to perform just simple calculations. And there is a little bit hypothesis or hypothetical term like these systems came into existence to replace calculators. Otherwise, these were used for what? The beyond the range of calculations in the name of scientific calculations. Whatever scientific calculations, probably the calculations after the decimal places. And if I talk in general term, it will be like micro level of calculation or mini level of calculation, sometime nano level of calculation, sometime pico level of calculations with respect to time, of course. I hope you are getting. Now, to support this, there were architecture applied in the name of ADVAC and INIVAC. If you really go through those, you'll be knowing. Anybody heard the term called ADVAC, INIVAC? I'll try to take an image help from website here for your convenience. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So if you observe here, these were the images what I found. I mean, with the help of course, some resource here. But these were used for what purpose? For performing certain calculations. Even if you want, you can use this for your reference.
It was for binary, right?
I'm talking with respect to very much scratch level of systems here. Okay, in that context, what was the main purpose of implementation of systems or computers? But right now we have reached very, you can say, advanced level. From there, this particular ADVAC, I'm going to connect those. Within that, what we are supposed to discuss, according to your course title called AI Framework, will be covered during this stage. I hope you are able to understand. So if you go through this, I suggest please read this for your convenience, even though you are from actually computer background? If not, also please read it, because the basics or the history must be clear to you. Then what we are discussing today, irrelevant of which field you belongs to, things will be more clear. So from this, earlier what happens, there was a, not actually company, there was an agency in US, said to be what? You might have heard this, ARPANET. You heard this? Hello?
Yes, ARPANET.
ARPANET stands for, anybody knows? Advanced Research Project for Network. In that context, first there was the project implemented by US Army to exchange the information very much crypted way. And later some people thought, can we encash it in the name of providing this particular platform to common people? And then comes the network concepts, which was available in the market with respect to, of course, exchange of data. And that at ARPANET was mainly meant for what? Exchange of voice information. And even you have one technology called VoIP presently, if you know, or if you heard. Voice over Internet Protocol, you might have heard. Yes or no?
Yes,
Hope
yes.
so.
Yeah, 7
Moving
years.
back, moving back to this particular clarification related to the term what I mentioned in the chat option. First, I would like to clear those. So with respect to your human body, skeleton is required, but however, that is handled by the nervous system according to science. And nervous system is having interconnection with each of the subsystem. And those subsystems are in a position to coordinate very much properly without any delay in any type of exchange of information. Based on that only, you are able to interact, you are able to express, you are able to give responses, you are able to handle the situation, and you are able to handle sometimes your intangible entities like, you can say, either emotions or sometimes knowledge here. Okay. So like that, if you compare the same situation with the system, I mentioned somewhere firmware. Firmwares are nothing but those are partially hardware entities, but able to coordinate with the system with respect to date and time. Is my screen visible? This automatic date is getting updated by itself, means it's a part of firmware programming. And of course, supported very much tiny way about hardware with respect to what? The entities like RISC and CISC. While RISC stands for Reduced Instruction Set Computer, CISC stands for Complex Instruction Set Computer, which is an architecture to be taken care by with respect to what? Motherboard. And there was a scientist called, if you recall his name, based on his name only, this RISC was renamed later. Anybody knows his name? Who is the father of computer or modern computer? Anybody knows? There was a term called Charles Babbage, if you remember that. I remember the term. Anybody heard this term?
Yes, yes. The
Another
father.
name, Charles Babbage.
Yeah.
And he was said to be the father of computer, correct? Otherwise, there is a term called von Neumann architecture. Anybody heard this? If you're from computer background, you must know. If you're from other different specialization, no need to worry, but otherwise, please remember. So this von Neumann architecture is nothing but RISC what we are using nowadays. Because he contributed how best the adjustment of the connectivities can be taken place in a physical approach with respect to what? Motherboard into bracket, the sound system, or sometime VGA system, or sometime other connectivities, including your present GPU. You might have heard the term called graphical processing unit. The present systems are having. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So all these are interconnected, and these are said to be the part of RISC architecture. After that, there comes the entity like operating system. But before operating system, you also need to know how to handle the instructions. In the name of, that is an example, Balaji. NVIDIA is a company which is providing nowadays GPU. I support your example as well as I really appreciate. But moving back to the actual clarification, what I was saying, how to interact with the system needs to be taken care in the name of programming. Within that, you can say not actually programming, software. Within that, operating system, softwares, as well as system softwares. When you talk about system softwares, those are in a position to exchange the information from end user and giving response to the end user with the help of operating system. Otherwise, the definition of operating system is what? It's the media with which you are able to communicate with the system. For example, if I'm making right now mouse movement, it's visible, na? The making of mouse is visible on your screen. Hello?
Yes.
So this particular mouse movement is nothing but exchange of input from me with the help of system. I'm able to find the outcome as wherever I'm making the mouse movement, almost like negligible part of time it is taking to give a response. This response is a part of what? Instruction. And if you consider instruction in a very much minute level, it starts with what? First, FI, fetch instruction, decode instruction, then fetch operand, decode operand, then what? Execute, then store. So these are the 6 stages of one instruction. Believe it or not, when you're working with your system, even if you say work for 15 minutes minimum, during this time, you are able to pass at least around 500 and I can say 12 to near about 1024 different instructions without your awareness, while system is able to record all those instructions. I mentioned time 15 minutes from our approach or from my approach with the system. But meantime, it is able to store all the exchange of information. Minimum, we will be in a what you call, will be in a position to use these many instructions. Believe it or not, all those instructions are going through the same 6 steps what I mentioned earlier, like fetch operand or fetch instruction, decode instruction, fetch operand, decode operand, execute and store. I suggest please go through the meaning of these from your understanding level. Once these are clear, based on this only, AI framework came into existence in a very much broader way, wherein all these are taken care with available network support. However, cloud is also supporting, including the input what you are providing with respect to understanding of your statements. In that way, if you observe the screen here, it says somewhere artificial intelligence and somewhere agents. Talking about artificial intelligence, machines are able to record all these. Now, I have to consider one small example from our brain or human point of view. It was predicted by science, and correct me, Rajesh sir, if I say anything wrong here, saying that what, in a specific one day, a human brain can able to create or replicate around 64,000 different thoughts. Out of these, human brain is able to remember hardly 15 to 20 different thoughts. 64,000 are getting replicated. These many we are able to access it easily. Rest of the thoughts we are not in a position to recall. What is the reason? The connectivity or the accessibility or the proper way of handling. So this is related to human brain, but the same case is not true with the system. Whatever you predefined, those many instructions will be stored without any problem, unless and until the data sets what you're providing in the beginning is not really up to the mark. In that way, this artificial intelligence really implemented. However, right now I need to stop this session. We'll go to continue the continuation part in the next session. But before that, I would like to know, before concluding today's session, you have any questions, queries, please raise the same in the chat option. Yeah. Any questions, queries from your side? Whatever discussed today. Can I have some response from your side?
It was
Please
very
use this
much
form.
clear and understandable, certainly.
So today's discussion is clear, right?
Yes.
More than sufficient for me. Otherwise, I would suggest, please go to the supportive recorded sessions. Hopefully those are visible as well in your ERP. And in the next session, of course, I'll continue from the same. Starting with what is the impact of AI in actually digital marketing? Believe it or not, I have been given, I think already I discussed about your timetable. I have to wrap up the timetable by 15th of Jan. So I may get another next 4 or 5 sessions. I'll try to concise everything in a such a way saying that things will be more clear to you in a better possible way. Fine. From your understanding level, you feel like any point is not clear. So I would request you to please drop a mail to me on my email ID so that I can attend your queries or can be discussed in the session as well. I think I already shared my email ID. Otherwise, you can make a note here. I'll be sharing. This is my communication. As it belongs to me as a project guide, already you know. Otherwise, if anybody is not belonging, you can make a note and drop a mail to me related to those things. I mean, your queries. In the next session, I'll try to wrap up the whatever part is pending today, including the coverage of points related to digital marketing, as well as some of the points from IoT. But from your side, I'll be happy if you drop any of your queries for known entities as well as unknown entities. Is that is clear?
Yeah, yes.
Any queries you have, Aishwarya?
Not exactly regarding the subject matter that was taught today. I have to tell one thing, like I have dropped a mail to you regarding the project, the research project thing. I am a bit anxious about it as to are there any altercations that I might need to do for that project?
Anyway, do you have any such similar, I can say, the queries from other learners? This is my email ID, what I'm sharing with you. Is it visible?
Yes.
It's applicable to all my learners. See, I give response to your email only when I am free from my existing,
I
this
certainly
is,
understand that.
yeah, sessions. And as I said in the previous session, again, I'm saying, Monday, Tuesday, I'll be totally busy, so I cannot give any response to my learners. That is one. Second, with respect to your project work, please refer 25 and 26 page, if not 26 and 77 page on the project guidelines, what had been shared by your assigned mentor.
Yes.
I'm expecting the same type of bifurcation as per the weeks or allotted time. According to that, you'll be getting supportive marks. If any component is missing, I may not be in a position to allot the marks. This is the regarding evaluation. Now,
Yes.
next continuation point related to your project. As much as possible, ensure that the topic what you selected is really clear. If anybody's project is not approved from me, suggestion, please prepare the objective of your selected topic and your supporting external guide. Send the same to me. If today I'll be free before, after 5 o'clock, you'll getting a response. Because again, after I have one session and we have some departmental work wherein I may not fulfill any of the reply of emails. Once I'm free, I'll give the response, because once I give a response, I have to go through properly what the reply I have to provide to my learners, correct?
Yes, sir.
So in that context, you may get the response for your email by after today, 5 o'clock onwards.
All right. Sir, I have a doubt. I think I might end up extending the session a bit. When there's a page in the black book section, I need to add a NOC no objection certificate to conduct the assessment, the project. I am not sure if my organization might be able to provide it. I
See, there
might
is
get
always,
a letter of experience, but I
I
might not.
always have, I'd like to clear something like this. There are different approaches how you will going to convince your particular company if you are working. If not, you are helpless because you will be not given those 20 marks as per the shared project guidelines.
Okay. Oh,
Because
so
that it
even the
carries
NOC
20
is
marks
having
weightage.
marks.
Come back again.
Even the NOC is having marks.
Yes, you please go through. That's the reason I said again, please go through the 26 or 27 page project guidelines thoroughly.
Okay.
Okay, because what happens if you go through and you are facing any confusion in that, then I can explain. Otherwise, I'm running short of time and you want me to explain the same from scratch. I can.
No, sir.
I can. Nothing wrong in that. But we are into now almost like 15th week of your project. Okay, and by 16th week you have to accomplish all the work. If anybody exceeding those time, then those may be eligible for minimum passing mark according to the project guidelines, right? So I suggest everyone, if you are lagging anywhere related to the project guidelines clarification, you can call me on the number which I provided. But otherwise, I used to give my number only to those learners who have almost about to completed or almost completed project work as of now. For final touch-up, I'm asking them to call because there are so many, you can say, fine-tuning need to be taken care. In that context, I'm asking them. Rest, if anybody has not got the approval, in a simple way, please prepare the synopsis and project guide details, external project guide details, attach the same, send to me, you will get a response and try to accomplish the task by next 1 week as per the allotted time. Okay?
Yes, sir. I have sent the statement of objective, project synopsis, and my external guide as well.
No problem. You'll get a response once I'm free today after 5 o'clock. As I said, we'll be busy with the other sessions. And once I can give response only when I'm free because email conversation is in black and white and I cannot say without going through that you can do this work, right?
Certainly.
Yeah, in that way, please allow me some time. I'll give a response to you people. Okay?
All right, sure. Thank you.
Fine.
Sir,
Any
sorry
other
to
queries
interrupt.
from? Go ahead,
I have
please.
some queries. Hello.
Tell me, Balaji.
Sir, I just tried to reach you, but I'm not sure whether you are busy. You haven't picked my call. So even I have the same issue. So the project.
If I given a number to you, you call me again because where we are working now, there very much network issue is applicable, not from my side, from the premise only. So you try it. If you get connection, I'll attend your call. But if I am free after this session.
So which is the right time you will be available so that I can call at the time?
Today I said after 5 o'clock. Tomorrow also after 5 o'clock. Day after also after 5 o'clock.
Okay, sir, sure.
Okay,
I'll call
wherever
after 5.
Wherever I'm free, I'll be giving a response, right?
Okay, sir, sure. I'll be calling at 5.
You check out your timing, but please make sure if you call, if it is not getting connected, probably there is no signal or probably I'll be busy with my session.
Okay, sir.
No problem. Any other queries from other learners? If no, thanks for attending session. Take care. We'll continue the next session. And whatever is applicable from your understanding level, provide the same input as your remarks. Thank you. I'll stop here. Take care. See you next week.